This is our horizontal bandsaw that we're going to be working with. Our horizontal bandsaw is mostly used for larger pieces of material or longer pieces. It's easier to hold and cut. If you have too skinny of a piece, you'll want to cut it either on our shear if it's really skinny, or our vertical bandsaw that's usually easier. So again, longer, bigger pieces of material is mostly used on this saw. When we start with this saw, we are going to go over to our control panel here. We're going to have to twist this red button to reset it. The light will come on now the machine is on, ready to go. If we cannot fit our part underneath the blade like this one is now, if it's too low, when we come over to the machine, we can press this up button, raising our machine up. Then our part will now fit underneath that blade, so we can put our part in there. On this part, just being an example, I do not have a line to cut to. But if you have a line to cut to, we want to lower that blade so we're close to our part to more accurately line it up. So what we're going to do on our control here, we are going to press the down button. I'm going to hold that, and it's slowly lowering our blade, very slowly. If we look at our speed right now, we're about 1.5. I'm going to spin that all the way around up to about 10. And now I'm going to hold that lower button right here and watch as this blade comes down. We want to get that nice and close to our part, but we do not want to hit the part. So it's going down nice and slow. Again, I'm going to stop and let go of this button before it hits that part. So right there, I've just stopped it. It's very close to the part, but it is not touching that part. If we are nice and close, if we had a line drawn on that part, it's easy to now slide this part in and out, lining that up. I'm just going to cut the end of that part off, right about there. So then what we have to do, go around the back side of our machine. We're going to lift this little lever right here. That lets this slide, this whole vise slide. We're going to slide it right up to our part and then let that lever back down. We can now use the lower handle, not this upper one. This adjusts the belt tension. We do not want to touch that one. We want to use this lower handle clockwise, tightening our part. We're just going to snug that up. Now our part is being securely held. We're going to come back around here, double check if I have a line, making sure I'm in the correct location. But I know I'm fine now since I don't have a line to cut to. So our part is in there where we want and it is tight. We have to go to our speed. We have to put this speed, this little arrow right here, all the way back to 0. Now when I turn the machine on with this green button, the blade is going to turn on, but since we're on 0, the machine is not going to feed down yet, which is what we want. We do not want to leave that on a high speed and turn it on. The blade will drop right into your part and ruin the blade. So our speed, again, is on 0. Now I'm going to press this green button right here. The machine is now running, but again, it's not lowering. I'm going to, for aluminum, set this speed to about 2. So my machine is now coming down and cutting off. Nice and slowly for aluminum. When this is done, I'm not going to do anything. The part cut off. So the part got automatically cut off. The machine hit the lower stop, shut the machine off so the blade is not moving, and automatically raised the blade up back where we started. Then we know we are good to go. When I am done, I always put the speed back to 0 just so when the next person uses it, if they turn it on, it does not automatically start to move. Now I can go again to the back side of this machine, loosen this handle. I can lift up this little tab and slide this over. And now I can grab my part that was in the back. And I can also carefully grab the small part that was in the front. This small part, a lot of times, if it is steel or if it's a solid piece, this is a tube, but if it is solid, it's going to be nice and hot. Make sure if it is hot, you don't grab it and burn yourself. So again, this machine is for longer, bigger parts. If you have shorter parts, or if you're only going to cut a little bit off, and you slide this vise up to your part, and you're only holding a little bit of your part, it is not rigid enough. This part can move while it's in there. If you can use another saw, our vertical bandsaw might be best. If you cannot use another saw, if you need this saw, or if you have a bunch of cuts to do that you want to make sure cut square, you can use a scrap piece of the same size material. This is the scrap piece I just cut off. So you can put this piece in the back of the saw. So they're both being held. So then this part of the vise cannot pivot on us. So when we pinch our part, it's going to securely hold this part. Then we'll be good to go. Again, when we're done, we put the speed back to 0. We hit the red button, pushing that down, just killing the power to the machine. And we're all set. We can take our parts and we're good to go. So that is our horizontal bandsaw. If you have any questions or comments, ask the machine shop staff. Just like our variable speed bandsaw, this machine can cut aluminum, wood, plastic, acrylic, steel. That's fine. It cannot cut hardened materials. We cannot cut hardened steel. We cannot cut carbides, glass, ceramic, anything weird like that. Ask the machine shop staff. We'll be happy to help you. Just like all of our machines, the blade on this machine that we're cutting with is nice and sharp, so be careful anytime you're working with it. If you need to work close to that blade to adjust your part, make sure the machine is off, or if it is running, your hands are nowhere near it. So make sure it's stopped, not anywhere near the running blade when you are adjusting parts.